first thing that an outstanding boss does is they understand what motivates their staff. Now, one question I always ask in an interview when I'm interviewing managers is, how do you know what motivates people? And people always go, money, recognition. No, the answer is you ask them. Because every individual is exactly that, individual. And what motivates them won't just be one thing, and it won't be money. Even if it's a salesperson, it might be doing a job well. It might be the fact that they get something out of it. So an absolutely outstanding boss motivates through the individual need. Sir Alan Sugar was... I didn't see him that often, if I'm being honest. He was very blunt with his communication, but he didn't find out what motivated me. Hence the reason that I own 3 businesses today, and none of them are with Sir Alan Sugar. The best boss I've ever worked for was a gentleman called Chris Smith. He got me at the young age of 22, and to say I wanted to take over the world was an understatement. And believe me, he used me in the company in order to do that. The most important thing that he did to me was he empowered me. And that's something that bosses don't do. As the owner of the business, there's something called control, and most bosses are control freaks. And staff have got to understand that it's very difficult for a boss not to do that. When you empower a member of staff, I mean, there's an old phrase, why have a dog and bark yourself? He used to say that to me, and I used to hate it, because I used to say, I'm not a dog. And he said, you missed the point, and I get it now. It is difficult to be a boss in the recession, but not a boss that communicates. But the one thing I will say is I'm a good boss, and I'm a nice boss, but not to underperformers. Because this country has no place for underperformers in a recession, and no small business can cope with them. So if there's any underperformers out there, beware, because if I come into the company, they either, ship off or they start to perform. Families shape people. I've got a member of staff who, before she got pregnant, was different till after. And there's all this negativity about women in the work. It's rubbish. I would prefer to take a working mom any day, because I'm going to ask them how they prioritise when they can get a child clothed, fed, and at school for 9 o'clock, because I'd struggle to do that. I don't need to say, let's talk about your workload. But the most important thing is you have to accept as an employer that if people have got kids or they've got family issues, then it's brought into work. I would say that you only know what a good boss is when you've had a bad one, and we've all had bad bosses. So when you get a good boss, it's very, very important that they know that you're loyal to them and that you champion them. So I would encourage anybody, if you think you've got the best boss in the country, then first of all, you'd have to compete against me and my staff. No, I'm only joking. But really, you should be out there voting for them, because that will only, how do you motivate your boss? You show them how good they are.